You just got home from work and decide to get the mail before you go in the house. You open the mailbox and see a letter from the Internal Revenue Service. If you owe back taxes, chances are that your letter is one of the CP500 series. That's a CP501, 503, or 504. But why did you receive it? And what should you do now? The CP500 series of IRS letters. That's the topic of today's video on the other side of the break.
1-877 Levy King, Levy Levy King, 1-877 Levy King, LevyKing.com.
What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax, and they call me the Levy King because I've helped thousands of clients with unfiled returns, back taxes, tax liens, and that's right, IRS levies. If the IRS took your check, the Levy King will get it back. 1-877 Levy King, LevyKing.com. I'm also the author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Inside the book, I'll show you how to stop IRS levies, liens, and garnishments without paying the tax in full, how to set up the payment plan that you want and not the one that they want, and how to potentially settle your tax debt for less than you actually owe. My book has been a top seller on Amazon for years, and you can buy it right now for $19.99. But I want to get you a copy of the book absolutely free. Just go over to my website, www.endthetaxnightmare.com, enter your name and email, and I'll send you a copy right away. No charge, not even for shipping, totally free. Before we go any further with the video today, please take a minute to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. You can also find me on Facebook as well as Instagram. All right, guys, let's dive into today's content. If you haven't heard, the IRS is back to work and they're back to collecting tax debts. You see, the IRS basically shut down when COVID hit. They were not going after individual taxpayers with unpaid balances, but all of that has changed, and they've been sending out lien notices and levy notices at what seems like a record-breaking pace. I get a lot of calls each day from new potential clients who have received one of these notices, and they all have the same questions. What does this letter mean, and what should I do about it? The first thing you'll want to do is figure out which notice you have received. Most of the IRS notices have a notice number in the upper right-hand corner of the notice. Most of them begin with the letters CP, and some begin with LTR. The most common notices that I'm seeing right now are the CP501, CP503, and CP504. The first type of notice we're going to talk about is the CP501, Notice of Balance Due. The 500 series of letters starts off very soft in their tone. The IRS describes the CP501 as a simple reminder that you owe tax debt. You know, just in case you forgot. This letter isn't really threatening in its tone, but it does give you a date by which you are expected to pay what you owe, or to make payment arrangements if you're unable to pay in full. When you receive this notice, you should know that this is the first in a series of notices that you'll receive. Each will become more and more aggressive in their tone and in what they're threatening or saying that they're going to do. So use this time to resolve your tax problems before things get more serious. The next up is the CP503, Notice of Balance Due. This is the second notice in the CP500 series, and it usually comes about 6 weeks after the first notice. The language of this letter is slightly more aggressive. The CP503 sets a new deadline for you to pay the tax that you owe. It also informs you that if you don't pay the tax that's due, the IRS could file a lien against you, your home, and other property. A tax lien is the government's way of officially putting the world on notice that you owe back taxes, and that the government has the right to seize your property to satisfy this debt. The tax lien attached to all your property, including property that you may acquire in the future. So that means when the IRS files that notice of federal tax lien, everyone now knows that you owe back taxes, and the lien attaches to all your property, your home, your car, your household goods, everything, and also to stuff that you may get later. So that car that you might buy next year will have a tax lien on it. Okay. If the IRS files a lien against you, it may prevent you from being able to purchase, sell, or refinance property, but it may also prevent you from obtaining or keeping employment. And it can also cause you to lose a job or a professional license, like if you're a realtor, an insurance agent, etc. Right? So you definitely want to avoid the tax lien. The final notice in this series that we're going to talk about today is the CP504, which is called the Notice of Intent to Levy. The CP504 indicates that you have reached the point where things are about to begin to get serious. The CP504 puts you on notice that the IRS intends to levy your wages and your bank accounts if you don't pay the tax. Section 6331D of the Internal Revenue Code requires the IRS to provide you with sufficient notice if the government intends to levy, meaning garnish, your wages or seize other property like your bank accounts. This notice is also telling you that the IRS will begin searching for other property that they can levy, such as your state tax refund. Now is a good time to take action. The CP504 used to explicitly state that the IRS was going to levy your state or federal tax refund to satisfy your unpaid balance. This really wasn't much of a threat because most people who owe tax debt to the IRS don't expect to get an IRS refund anyway. The government recently changed the CP504 to make it look more like a regular levy notice, not just a notice regarding your state tax refund. The new CP504 does not mention a levy against a state tax refund. It simply states that they will levy or seize your property. The new form goes a step further as it expressly states that if you don't pay, the IRS will consider your non-payment an, quote, active choice. This language seems to indicate to me that they're going to take this a lot more seriously. If you want to know whether you have an old CP504 or the new CP504, look for the barcode at the top and the QR code at the bottom of the letter. If you got the barcode and the QR code, then you've got the new form. And I would really take this more seriously than a notice that only states an intent to take your tax refund. If you receive a CP504, and you can afford to pay the tax in full, you should do so at this time. But if you can't afford to pay the tax in full and you owe less than $10,000, you should contact the IRS using the contact information on the notice and set up a payment plan to pay the debt over time. If you owe more than $10,000, you'd probably be wise to contact a tax professional, like my team here at Legacy Tax. We can protect you from liens and levies while we figure out a way to handle your tax debt. Speaking of tax debt, I want you to know that there are special programs in place to help you get a fresh start. But how do you know if you qualify? You see, no two cases are exactly alike. So how do you know exactly how much you can settle your tax debt for? Well, I've created a free tool to help you get qualified for a fresh start. Just head over to www.levyking.com or click the link below. Follow the prompts and answer a few simple questions, and we'll help you figure out your eligibility. That website again is www.levyking.com, or you can give us a call at 1-877-LEVY-KING. Again, that number, 1-877-LEVY-KING. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Talk to you later. Bye.
1-877-LEVY-KING, Levy, Levy King, 1-877-LEVY-KING, LevyKing.com.
Owe back taxes to the IRS? Call the Levy King. He's the best. 877-LEVY-KING, LevyKing.com.
1-877-LEVY-KING, LevyKing.com.